Good morning, and we're live. This is Facebook Live. It's our deep dive show with Cherry Divine and the Ancients. Welcome, Cherry.
Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here, and they're threatening snow here today. Oh my gosh.
Nah.
Yeah, or Friday, whichever.
Nah.
My daffodils are coming up. We're supposed to have sunshine and warm weather right now.
Well, we had sunshine yesterday and cold weather.
Oh, we had sunshine for 3 days and icy cold weather.
Yeah.
I did go out and work in my garden a little bit, though.
Oh, you're kidding.
I did. It just kept looking like I should be outside. I did wait till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was bundled up. So the warmer part of the day.
Oh, you're so funny. All right, we've got Jolynn, hi, and Andrea, good morning. Anybody else that's joined us, go ahead and say hi. And Jolynn has a question, so we'll get to that. And thank you for asking your questions. And we're going to talk about change today, because we're going to be doing some changing around here, and change is the name of the game. It's kind of what always is going on in our lives, and I know that it scares the crap out of me. So, Nancy Evans, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. This is interesting, and I was talking to my friend Vicki Pruitt yesterday, who does astrology, and she was showing me in the chart and this sort of thing where Uranus is moving, and this is moving, and that is moving, and depending on what house it hits you on, you may experience very sudden change. Guess what? Mine hits in career, work, business, relationship, business, work, all of this. I was going, how interesting is that? Because we're stirring things up again, and changes here. And like Nancy said, is it can scare you. Yet what I found, some goofy song started playing through my head. It's back here, and it's like, what won't break you will make you stronger. It's a newer song. Okay, guys, that's good. But see, it's just saying that change is all about growth. When we hold on too hard and too fast to things, there's times that it becomes so uncomfortable. And the reason it becomes uncomfortable is because we're not allowing ourselves to expand and grow. And for me, when I get into these periods of discomfort, and yes, the world gets shaken up somewhat, I stop and I sit with myself. I just sit in quiet, and then I'll hand it off to Spirit and let the answer come in there. And invariably, it's an answer that says, okay, you've taken this step, you've moved forward in that way, now it's time for the next step. Again, you're moving forward. It is not to stand still in this life. It is not to stay stuck in the quicksand of life. It is not to fear going forward. It is to understand it is a chosen walk. And as you complete one step, you are very ready for the next. Even though you may shake and quiver over the idea of the unknown, there is a deeper understanding living inside of you. And that is the well-known. Embrace all that you are, the majestic creator of life, and move forward with delight. You are supported through every step. It is only a matter of moving out of the worry of the mind and into the knowledge of the heart. Let the soul of you carry you forward. And you will find that next step is supported in every way. And that's one of the things for us to remember, is our lives are not happenstance. They are chosen, and they are well chosen, and they have purpose. And when we let go of our worry, of our fear, and take that next step, and allow ourselves to feel the support, it comes in from all areas. These areas are physical and non-physical. The essence of you is guiding you. When we get into fear, we're into the ego. And the ego has all of the old trainings, all of the old tapes, all of the old illusions running around in it. So if we can take that breath, take whatever it is and just focus it into the energy of the heart chakra and trust. And they're saying, listen to the inner message you get and trust as you go forward. You will find it's quite delightful to change. You know, there was a cute little post on my other Facebook page, and it was called Shedding Your Skin. And it is talking about change. And it's about supporting each other during times of change, supporting ourselves during times of change. And that's one of the things to do is reach out to those people you know and care about, and even those that you don't who are, it says infused in change, and do it with love and compassion. And of course, do the same for yourself as you go through it. So, part of the change is next week. I'm going to be in Hawaii again. Yay, me. I love it. And Nancy stuck her tongue out at me anyway. And I know it's question and answer next week. And what I'd like you to do is kind of just post it when the banner goes up. And next week, and I
have to make a banner. Oh darn! I'm just gonna make a pretty one of those little, when you make a post in it, you can put a pretty thing. I'm just gonna say, post your questions here for Cherry. She'll answer them when she has a minute. So we're not having a show next Wednesday morning. That's what we're trying to say.
That's it. That's part of Wednesday's change for next week. And that is because I'm going to be working there, doing fun things also. And I'm going to just grab the questions and I'm going to answer them as I have time, in the morning, in the evening, sitting on a beach somewhere, wherever, and sharing the aloha spirit with you. Now, here's another thing to remember. If you like this page, when I am online on Facebook Live, it will automatically send you a notification. So you'll be able to check in and see if it was your question that was answered. If not, you'll see little video clips here and there that say, I'm answering questions now. So, it's letting it be what it is. I liked yesterday, Nancy and I were talking about the topic, and all of a sudden it gave me this illusion of walking through your life and it being compared to Jell-O, and the unsteadiness, the wavery, the bouncy, wiggly, jiggly feeling. And that's sometimes what life is all about. But Jell-O's fun, so if we get all wiggly and jiggly and let the fun of it carry us through, it becomes much more of an adventure than something to be afraid of. Oh, something else just came in. When we're in fear, when we're afraid, we're sending that energy forward. And that comes up to us. We meet it in the future. And so, with this change that's going on, what if you send trust, love, support for yourself, magic, adventure, joy, happiness, delight, and look forward to it and match up with that energy in your future. And Nancy was getting ready to say something when I went, oh, there was something else for me to say.
I don't know what it was. It doesn't matter.
It went out on another level.
It did indeed.
It did.
All right, so I want to welcome people because I haven't done it since Nancy. So we've got Virginia. Oh, and then I remembered to post our welcome. So hi to us.
Hi.
Pauletta, good morning. Teresa, Jolynn again. Gay Wynn, hi, Gay Wynn. Hugs to you too. So Jolynn keeps asking her question. So let's see. How big a role does detachment play in the process of change? Detachment is my men struggle, maybe main struggle in change, and detachment is the biggest struggle for me right now in a journey of change. Can you touch on detachment? So apparently, Jolynn, you really want this detachment thing, and Sandra's just popped in saying hi. So hi, Sandra, but we're going to go get detached. And here's Michelle's. Hi, we're going to go get detached. Okay,
Well,
talk about detachment.
This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect because we get so hung up on the emotions of everything that you aren't moving. You're just being hit left and right by all of this emotion and reaction. And all of this is learned behavior training. A good portion of it. It isn't who you are. Detachment. Become the observer. Detach from the emotions of it. Step back. And that's one of the things that happened naturally for me when I first shifted. And it is all of a sudden I became the observer in my life. And you feel as if you have no emotion. And at first it's a little odd, a little, oh my gosh, am I even connected to this life? And will I ever be again? Yes. Yes, you will. Yet it gives you a clearer idea of your own life, how much is just habitual behavior and old patterns, what isn't yours, where you learn to be reactionary to a certain trigger instead of seeing why the event is happening, what truth it brings you, what understanding, what message. And so when we do this, we learn about ourselves, how to do it. Just each time you start to hit emotion, pull back. Just feel yourself, imagine yourself pulling away from it and let the emotion be out there. See yourself looking at whatever the situation is. This is something you're ready to move away from or change in your life. How has it served you? What isn't, how is it not serving you now? Where does it not support you? How much of it has just kept, the same cycle happening over and over again? What do you want to implement instead? Where do you lose your power? How can you reclaim your personal power? Journal about it. Not where you're spending endless time in that situation, but in enough that you can identify what's going on. And with Jolynn, you said her name was, correct? It's striking right at the top of your power chakra. And so when you're looking at this emotion, it keeps you out of your personal power. It never lets you claim you. So practice taking yourself out of the situation. I have, various meditations and things that have been created to assist in becoming the observer of highly charged life situations. So journal about it. And as, if you choose, one of the things you can do, don't see yourself as you. I know that's a little challenging, but it's true. See yourself as if you were watching a character in a movie go through what it is that you are experiencing. And that will help you stay detached because you'll be detached from your, this emotional reactionary part of you. And that'll help you see what the whole message is and how to, it says, circumvent the same occurrences over and over again. One of the things, we stay attached to these things and in the emotions because we're trying to hold on to a sense of self. And the truth of the matter is, it takes our sense of self in these situations. It's where are you defending? Where are you seeing yourself as having to claim yourself or stand up for yourself? Look at every little piece of this. This is for everybody. That when we're just really holding on to you and really in that shaken up, jiggly moment of life, where does it not let us claim us?
And this is so fun because I was just looking for the thing that you wrote about Jello, and you start talking about the jiggly moment. So I'm going to share with people. I did put it in the email reminder from this morning, but here's what you do. You feel as if you are walking through Jello. No worries, that is life. It jiggles, bounces, does whoop-de-doos. Your job is to balance and move with the jiggles. So it's a balancing act.
It is. It is. So many people look at this as like, oh my God, this life, oh my God. And the truth of the matter is, if we step out of this and look at it more as, oh my God, this life, oh my God, what's coming next? We change the whole energy of it. And yes, there's things we attract in that feel scary. Yet if we look and see what those things are, how they, what they represent to us inside of us, how do they represent? I love the 7 of seeing mirrors, because everything outside of us actually is a reflection of something inside of us. It tells us a story of, ourselves, where we let go of our personal power, our judgments, all of these various things. So when we hold that type of understanding, it's, easier. And it doesn't mean you won't get into the jiggly, oh my gosh, I'm going to fall down or stick in this one spot. I think I just will break down and cry moment. Yet they don't last as long. They just don't. I mean, do it. Go ahead. Get stuck. Break down and cry. Release the bogged up emotion. And just cleanse. Reach out to people for support. So many people with this are like, I got to do this all by myself. Nobody wants to be there for me. Well, that's self-imposed. If you understand you're a deserving, loving being and there are others out there for you, if you reach out, you will find things move much easier. I've been there, done that. Universe, spirit, keeps saying, really? 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 Here, let me show you what's there for you if you'll just look and see. Why don't you reach out, girly? What's holding you back? Yeah, see, this is the stuff I go through. So, my funny voices come in for me too, and my funny eyes. Nancy always tells me not to do the eye thing, and I'm going, what is the eye thing? I'm going, oh my goodness. So,
well, you do it as soon as we go, just as we're going live. I get this face with this funny eyes. So I wanted to make a comment about. Let's see, Jolynn said thank you, and I'm glad that was helpful, and I think it was helpful for a lot of people. Gay Win, perfect timing. I became aware of past and current behavior of reacting, and I love how she said it, re-acting. We're doing it over and over. We're reacting. And I also wanted to say, in Jolynn, you asked about having trouble with detachment. You asked it 3 times, and it's not that I didn't see it. And so I just want to gently remind us, when we keep repeating something that we can't do, and this is not just about you and the detachment question. I understand you wanted to make sure we saw it. But when we keep repeating to ourselves something that we don't believe we can do, we reinforce that belief that we cannot do it. So the rewatch the part as Cherry's going through how to detach yourself. Go online and find some meditations about becoming the observer and observing what's going on with yourself and your emotions. And so that you can detach. So that's beautiful. I just wanted to reinforce that sometimes we keep worrying about what we can't do when we're just perpetuating our can't doingness.
It's really interesting. My group gave me an early lesson. This was probably 3 years after my shift. Anyway, and I would throw the same question out to them over and over and over again. I was really attached to it. And so I was listening to another woman do a presentation, and she was bringing in a message from a being. And that being turned around and looked at me and said, "You don't need to ask the question over and over again. We did hear you the first time." And so that's one of the things is when we're holding on to it, we can't change. And it's because, like Nancy said, we're putting it out there and it's there. We're glued to it. Then for whatever reason, it's showing like a fly on fly paper. We aren't going anywhere. And then it also showed the spider in the web and the little sticky feet, but they move through theirs very easily. And so if we let ourselves understand we're attached to the physical. Oh, they're giving me some ideas here. Attached to the physical, like the spider, and spider weaves the web of life. You're the one throwing that web out. Where do you want it to go? Where do you want to move within that? And since spider came up today, it would be really good for everybody who's listening or does listen to the show. Look up spider animal totem, just because it came in. And I'm creeped out by spiders, so I get to, it's one of those.
But actually be the spider and create your own web and not the fly stuck in the web or stuck on the fly paper, right?
That's right. That's right.
All right. I just wanted Jolynn to know that we weren't picking on her, but I was using that as an example.
Yeah, no. And I love it because invariably, whenever we're speaking to groups, somebody will step up with a question and they do become an example, but that example is for everybody listening because we're drawn together in groups. We have the same types of questions, the same feelings, the same emotions. So I love her stepping up with that question. It serves everybody. And this is part of our connection. So yay.
And it really has. We've gotten a number of people. Teresa, for example, said, "Great words, so helpful. Looking at myself as a third person, observing will give me such clarity, and removing the emotion is key." Well said, Teresa. Thank you.
Yes, that's it.
That's a perfect summary.
We all add to this. It's not one of us more than another of us. We all add to this, and that assists us in moving forward. That's where we're at life right now. It used to be everybody was looking at, tell me my future, tell me this. And now we're in that point. And 2019 has really pushed us into this point as it's assist me in helping create my life, my future. Open the doors where I am closed, what I'm not seeing. And then I step into the personal power of me. That's it. Somebody's whispering, you are the magicians of life. Have you ever noticed how many prophecies have been unfulfilled? How many that have been stated would occur? Usually in the negative. And then they do not occur at all. And that is because those beings called human, you, are the magicians of life. You look at the circumstances, you look at what's been said, and then you consciously choose not to support that prophecy. Instead, to claim the power of you and create in the most fantastic of ways. You are remembering. We started, say, getting better at it. Yet getting better at it is only remembering all that you are. And you are claiming the energy of spider, the weaver of the web of life, choosing and designing in conscious moments. So allow yourselves to continue. And remember, you are the magicians. You are not powerless in your life. You are not defined by what others have said you are. You are not defined by the circumstances of your life. You learn from all of these things. You open the doorways of you. Allow this to continue to take you forward. Allow this to open you to the magic of all that you are. We love and support you as you take the steps of your journey. We love and support you as you open the doorways of the blocked heart. We hold you in our hands. We hold you in our hearts. And we are always with you. Now, many will recognize that as the ancients. Still in the magic of that energy, I sure am. Okay, I better ground out just a bit. Oh, it is. It gets all melty.
Well, and it gave Michelle chills, so lovely, lovely. We love hearing from them. That's part of the reason people show up, I think, is to see what they're going to say.
Yep. And here's the deal, folks. I mean, I love you coming to me, and I do not want you to quit. This is my purpose in life, one of them, other than living in joy, laughter, and love. It's also understand they're there for you. Hear the magic of them. When you're walking outside or inside and you hear or sense something that feels just out here a little, delights you somewhat, brings up your curiosity, feels loving and supportive, tilt your head and listen, or stop and feel the energy surround you. We are not here for just one or two. We are here for the all of you, for each and every one of you. Again, there goes that wave of beautiful, loving energy. Wow. You see, instead of being the Wicked Witch under that gets the water thrown on her in what is that, Yellow Brick Road show?
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. And I'm melting. It's like, oh, I'm melting. There's a difference.
Well, in the beginning of the show, sometime we talked about houses flying or something, and I thought, oh yeah, and I'm the witch that got attacked by the house. Yeah.
Well, they just crawl out from underneath that house. So, oh my goodness. Wow.
Anybody else have a question for us or a comment about change? And I want to share what we're doing, what Cherry's doing is if you're wanting to have, there we go. If you're wanting to have some support and collegial, working with other people together, so as you move through the changes that are happening in your life, Cherry's got a wonderful membership program. It's the Living Your Empowered Life membership program. It's ongoing. You can join at any time. You can leave at any time. She does 2 live Zoom meetings a month, and we have one coming up tomorrow night. They're at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So on the East Coast, you can come in your jammies, and if your jammies are really revealing, just leave your camera off.
Yeah, we may not want to see that much.
But anyway, it's a fantastic, fantastic way to participate with Cherry further and to have colleagues, friends, partners. You're not alone in this journey, and so don't be alone in this journey. Join together. We have a Facebook group where people can come together and chat and support each other all during the month, not just on the 2 meeting times.
And this is it. And at this time, it's interactive within the Facebook group. I mean, live conversations. And we want to get to the meat of this. What are you feeling? Where do you feel blocked or stuck? And that's where we come in. I come in and help give guidance, but everybody else who's walking this journey will assist in it. They let you know where they're at, what they're going through. And so this is it. There's so many people that feel alone in all of this, and you're not. Lately the theme has been is that keeps coming to me. It's time to invest in you. Years ago, I wouldn't I think the biggest investment I made was taking the Reiki class, and I was going, oh my God, it cost so much, because I had never done it. It felt frivolous. Yet it changed my whole life in an instant for me. Not everybody will do it that way. Yet if we never invest in ourselves, if we keep putting ourselves at the background of everything, we'll never let ourselves come forward. And so that's something to think about. And many people use this as an example. Is think about when you're on an airplane and they tell you if the mask comes down, who do you put it on first? And you cover both your nose and your mouth, not just your mouth. Is you put it on you, because if you aren't taking care of you, you're not able to offer assistance to anybody else. And that's something to remember there too. Many people walk around feeling drained by what they feel are the demands of their family, of their friends, of their job. And it has nothing to do with outside of you. It has everything to do with you're putting yourself at the background, way at the back of the line. So these are things that are coming to the forefront. And I tell people it's time to become very selfish, so that you become more selfless. Selfish, I only use that term because we're taught when we think of ourselves first, we're greedy, selfish, and that's just BS. It is. It's old training. It's not a truth. When we think of ourselves in a loving, gentle way, allow ourselves to become whole, it shifts and changes our energy body. That energy goes out and touches outside of us, and it assists in having a mass conscious change in a way that supports in the most loving of ways. And then you have more to give, more to offer. And it doesn't deplete you because it comes from the heart, not from the idea you must do, should do, have to, and if you're a good person, you will do. You notice the change? It's a different energy completely. So there we go.
And when we fill ourselves up first, we don't resent giving for others, right?
That's right. And when we fill up first, it allows us to see how to move forward in life in a way that supports us. And that support often reaches out and supports others. And yes, you're going to feel the change in your living environment. And that's those closest to you, your work, everything. Because your energy will change. And we already have set energetic patterns are recognized by those that we interact with. And when yours changes, people who are not aware go, uh-oh, something's going on. I don't know what's going on. Something's different. It just feels uncomfortable. And so, a lot of people will do something that usually looks negative, and it brings your energy back down where it's recognizable. Yet, if you hold this loving, compassionate, understanding, supportive self, the vibration holds up, and just send out a welcome. Say, come up with me if it's in your highest and best good. People fear losing the ones they love, and it doesn't you don't lose. It just changes. And it can change in a way that supports not only you, but all of those around you, if that's what they choose to have in their life. You notice how I always leave it if they choose? Because guess what? We don't get to decide for anybody else. That's their journey and their path. Yet, which do you want to be? The one that sits in the background of life saying, oh my God, it drains me. I'm so frustrated. I'm so resentful. They never do to me. Oh, do to me. Well, that was interesting. Do for me. Or the one that steps up at the head, loves yourself, supports all that you are, and lives the example, showing people where life can take them. We have choice, kiddos.
Well, darn.
I know. I sound kind of soapboxy at times, but that's part of my charm. I'm my soapbox.
Michelle had a comment. I was meant to be here today. I just literally had a flashback. I've seen this very self-conversation and where I was in my home while I was listening to your messages. Confirmation. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Excellent,
Yay.
Michelle. Great.
Oh.
So the change, we're talking about change today, and next week is going to be a change of the show. And going forward, we're in discussion about how we're going to continue with the show. Might not be all the time, might be from time to time. We're changing because we have, I'm going to put it back up again, the membership program where you can get much more in-depth information from Cherry, much more conversation with Cherry. We're moving in that direction a little bit more than just these once a week Facebook Lives where anybody can participate and throw in their messages, their questions, and be served. And not that we don't want to serve everyone, it's just we want to be able to provide a really rich experience for people.
And the thing is, this is a conscious choice, and many people, and this is what I love, because those of you that are gathered here are consciously choosing to create a more positive change. And again, Nancy's not meant to stay in the background of anything, and right now that's where it keeps her, and that's not a good place to be. Let's get some change going. She's got a lot of very good stuff to assist people with, and that's part of it. It's like, no, why are we staying in the background? What holds us back? Not everybody's going to step up in front of large groups. Not everybody's yet. It's letting yourself grow in the direction that's perfect for you and in the way you want. Andy, I love Andy. Andy's, I don't know if she's here with us today or not. In hers is her passions of nature, trees, birds, rocks, stones. And she looks in depth of those, and that's where she chooses to grow. So that's a different path altogether. And so you understand it's a personal growth. Some people do it with animals, taking care of, or others in a way that seems so quiet, but it's still so perfect. It's becoming conscious of being the designer of your life and choosing the direction you want to go without worry and fear. Again, they're saying it's not happenstance. How fun is that? And for some people, this idea of being the ones that choose their life scares them, because then they're judging, and they're like, if something doesn't turn out right the first time or doesn't happen, it's like, oh, I must have done something wrong. No, you're just, you've got your training wheels on, and think about when you first rode a bike. You didn't just jump on and do it. Well, yeah, no, I didn't. You had training wheels, or somebody who held the back of the bike for you, or you fell and you skinned your knees, but you got back up and were determined to do it. And guess what? Then you did it. And then you did it without second thought. It's second nature. And that's what this is all about. It's okay to be nervous, yet don't let it hold you stuck in this idea you're helpless in life. And you're not going to run away from all those you love. You're not going to look out. The truth of the matter is what happens. You quit blaming all of those you love. You take it back from them and say, hold it, they're not doing this to me, I'm doing this to me. And it frees you up, but it also frees them up. And you set boundaries that honor who you are. So many of us never learned boundaries. Pick me. Or how to have a voice. Oh, yeah, double pick me there. And so this is a fun and joyous thing. I want to grab everybody by the hand and say, come with me. Let's do this.
Let's go to the Jell-O bouncy game.
That's right. Look at kids when they go to those trampoline houses and how much fun they have. Well, when we think of life, let's just think of the Jell-O and being the child of the universe, magnificent creators, and bounce and jiggle and wiggle with it. Instead of looking at what's going to go wrong, what do we look at? What's going to go right? And how can we create that right? And how does it fit us? And who do we want to be when we grow up? And what does that even mean? I don't know what this growing up thing means. Yeah. Growing up into who we are. Right? Growing in. Oh, I like that better. Not growing up, growing into who we are. That one makes sense to me. So.
All right. So for our members in our membership program, tomorrow night we have a Zoom meeting, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, whatever time zone we're in, Pacific. Yep. And for those of you who think that might be a really wonderful thing, go to cherrydivine.com/LYEL-membership. And I will put a link to that in the description of this show when the show is over. So I write up some stuff about what we talked about, and I will put the link to the membership so you can easily find it and click on it and join us.
Ooh, and getting it all worked out. Got a retreat coming in Gerhardt, Oregon in July. So that's going to be just an amazing, empowering, 3 days. And it will be in a group house, so a lot of interaction.
It's kind of like going camping.
Yeah. And you know what I found is when Vicki and I did the retreats over in Hawaii and we shared group homes, is when we'd get done with, the work part of it, is people were they'd break off in groups. Somehow certain people would just match up and they'd be able to assist each other, and discuss what they learned, and, feelings that weren't shared outside earlier all of a sudden come to the forefront. So, absolute magic.
Well, working with you is magic. And with that, my dear, unless you have anything else to add, I think this has been a magical show, and change is magical, and we have choices.
And that's true.
Yes.
And I'll be doing live from Hawaii next week. You guys have a wonderful, powerful, self-loving week. And take it forward past that.
That's right. So you're going to be gone from like the 11th to the 19th. So
yeah.
The 20th, we probably will not have a show 2 weeks from today, because you're just getting back and we won't have had a chance to do or talk about what we're going to be up to.
And that's it. Right now things are a little up in the air. And but it doesn't mean either of us are disappearing. It just means change.
Change is happening.
Let's see what it changes into. What does it morph into, Nancy?
Oh, morph. Yeah.
I like morph.
Let's morph. All right. And we're going to morph out of here. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. See you in the membership.
Bye-bye, guys. Love you.